Hello, and welcome back to Pulling Back the Curtain with me, your host, Vinny Ali. It is a beautiful Friday morning, and I'm coming to you with some okay news. As you all know, we've been in the Face of Horror competition, and for the past 2 years, we've done very well. We've gotten very far. The first year, we got very close to getting to the final cut. Unfortunately, this year, we have fallen a bit flat. That being said, I'm happy we competed because every time we do, we are raising money for people in need. And this year it was for the Starlight Foundation, which raises money to help create a more warm, loving environment for children that are hospitalized. So it is with a heavy heart to say that we didn't make it that far. And I'm not sure if we're going to make the director's cut or people's champion or be able to do a screen test for the director. But that's okay. We did our best. We tried. And that's all we can ask for at times. So we're just going to move forward from there. And on October 31st, there's going to be a very special event going on Spotify. And as we get closer to that date, I'll be able to reveal more information about it. Just know that I will be in a music video, hopefully sooner than later. And I might be on a song. Again, we shall see. So for today's episode, we're going to talk about the importance of perseverance. My whole life has just been a whole marathon of just trial and error and moving forward and getting knocked down and getting right back up again. Like the Tub Thumper song, if you're old enough to remember that song. My mom has always admired that about me. You know, I got knocked down and I would get back up just immediately. From my father berating me and telling me that I was no good, a street boy, to not getting a role in certain shows. Yeah, I live in a world where I just keep trying. I persevere because I want more from my life than what's in front of me. I know that I'm supposed to be grateful for what I have, and I am. You know, I have a safe place to live in, roof over my head, food in my belly, a perfect car for my needs, love and support from my mom, and I have some good friends, albeit they are spread out. I have access to tomes of knowledge and wisdom, and I have a great critical mind, great for thinking, problem solving, and I'm able to amass multiple part-time jobs to make ends meet. However, I don't want to be 50 when I can say I'm good and comfortable. I want to be able to say that in my struggles, in my journey to becoming a more productive citizen of the world through my art and my craft and my two hands that I was given, that I lived my life instead of just existed. A lot of times I work my customer service job. People ask me, oh, when'd you get in? How long do you have? And like, oh, well, I hope it goes fast for you. And people say this as a term of, hope and joy. But I see it a little differently, as I'm sure some of you also see it differently. It's another day gone. It's another day gone that I cannot get back. It's another hour spent serving others instead of being on set, writing, behind a microphone, doing something that will push my career to the next level. And it's disheartening. I am literally trading my life for a few dollars and security. But even that's a false sense of security in this economy. I had a very good friend, Courtney. Well, I'm friends through Chris, who is her husband, through Courtney. Chris is a very, very talented engineer, writer, and painter. That's a fun fact I learned. And He very qualified and had the perfect job. They even moved for it and everything. But the company decided to end his contract at a certain point, and they decided that they will help him find a new position. And from there, they had a lot of time to think things through. They didn't see it as a end of the world situation that couldn't do the dream job as an engineer. They saw it as, okay, this is a new chapter, and in this time that we have, we're going to do something about it. Courtney and Chris pulled up their bootstraps, created an LLC of Risen Fire Productions, got to work on his first book in his series, and doubled down on Courtney's podcast, reaching out to creators and writing the books, and now they're working on her book as well. I mean, that's the thing, when you're an artist, your life is very much in the wind, and you're just kind of flowing along, riding the highs and the lows, and trying to figure things out. Even if you had a normal 9-to-5 job, there's no real guarantee you're going to keep that for a long period of time either. Unfortunately, that's the nature of the world these days. I'm constantly fascinated by these videos that I see of people standing up for their rights, knowing their value, to these managers that say, I need you to work extra, but I'm not going to compensate you. I'm like, okay. What do you mean, okay? Oh, yeah, it's fine. It's fine. Well, if you don't do it, I'm going to fire you. I understand. At that point, you just kind of have to know your value and take the lumps of your consequences. I mean, this new concept I've been getting into is there are no good or bad decisions. There's just decisions with consequences, because every choice you make leads to a consequence. Whether it's good or bad is for you to interpret. I'm doing this podcast at home with, bare minimum supplies, but we're pounding away. We're getting better at it. My last video, hell, I got an intro. I put the soundtrack that Millard Brown put in there for me of an intro and outro, and I even put the trailer for Courtney's upcoming episode of Beyond the Pines, which I am featured in. As you all will hear, as soon as that drops, I'm going to promote the hell out of it on all my TikToks and social medias, Instagrams, Facebooks, and of course here. And it's very exciting. We're in a situation, all of us at this point, where nothing's really certain. It's no longer the days of you get a job, you work 35 years, you get a pension, and you get a watch. It's now you work a job for as long as you're deemed useful, then, or you decide that you are done enough for them, and then you move on. It's disheartening, but we just have to take the time that we have and make the best of it. It's an interesting golden age of humanity. We have the old school ways of doing things, and then we have the new school millennial ways of saying, yeah, I can do this internship and get the experience, but if I don't have a livable wage to even, pay for basic needs, like groceries, electricity and such, I'm hesitant to take it, and would probably do better just to create my own opportunities, which we can now. Look, hell, I'm making an interview radio play, the platform for my art with just a camera, a microphone, and some lights. It's absolutely bonkers, to fathom that we could do this like 10 years ago, 20 years ago. But we are. It's more common and much more commonplace. That's pretty much what it is. So the point of today's podcast is talk about perseverance. We are in control of our destinies. How we get there, well, that's beyond my fathoming. but all I know is that we can just try different approaches to get there. I mean, I've tried the traditional route of, becoming a successful actor. That started in high school. Well, high school improv and high school plays and musicals, taking classes. I got a degree in psychology and theater because psychology studies the human condition and theater expresses it. I got a job at a cheesy dinner theater called Mystery Dinner Playhouse, where I played Frank Salerno, the chief executive officer, O'Brien as himself. Got into film with The Amulet, which is the first full-length movie I was ever in, and 36 Miles by Nicholas Carrot. And God willing, I can get these financial adventures into order. We could have him on the show, which would be really fun to talk about 36 Miles, a zombie film we did. And what was fun about that project is I bet it through a friend of a friend. And that's how that works. James Placius, a wonderful friend of the show. He is a very dark writer. But what was interesting is his muse was the depression and the sadness of his life. But since he has finally found his person and has made a life for himself with a little boy and, soon a home in Virginia and a good, honest job, his creativity has been kind of satiated. That's something that I have constantly struggled with most of my life. Do I not have a partner because of my mistress, the art, the craft, the dream? Or is it because I'm just not ready? I just haven't found the right girl yet. I feel like I'm constantly just meeting all the wrong ones over and over and over again. And it's disheartening. It's frustrating at times, You think that being kind and being good and, offering what I always say, I can offer you my heart and my hands. That's what I can offer you. It may not be much, but it's what I can give willingly, lovingly to you. They're warm, they're strong, resilient, and they are yours if you accept me for me. So, the thing that's always been constantly pushing me to keep going is the day jobs don't work. They don't satiate me. They don't pay all my bills. I am able to cobble together a decent living because I just work nearly every single day. And yesterday I was doing a landscaping job with DPH or landscaping. Before that, a couple hours before that, I was out doing Instacart because I didn't have my customer service job. I was off that day, yesterday. And today I got the customer service job from, my normal shift. And because I didn't wake up early enough, I didn't do Instacart. I decided to just have some breakfast and just veg out, which is something I'm not very good at, but I need to do. I persevere because part of me wants to succeed for my mom. My mom was a very good dancer. She started late, though, and when she got into college, she realized that she can't make a career out of this. So she went to nursing instead to be able to have freedom, financial freedom, to do what she wants. And that's always been a challenge for me, financial freedom. Because it's like, what are you sacrificing? And then do you have any energy left to do the thing that you really love to do? Or just enough energy to do the thing you like to do that actually makes you money? I like doing customer service. I like being able to be there for people, make them feel seen and welcome and such. But at the same time, though, I don't love it. I don't feel good going in and just trading my time for a minimal wage and benefits and retirement and such, because retirement age is now 65, 67? Man, 67. I have to wait another, I can't do math right now, a good long time for even a chance to feel that, I mean, my body, my mind is gonna be, you know, pretty used up at that point. I mean, I plan to keep working out and running and reading and writing and doing my craft and everything well into my 70s. If I make it that long, fingers crossed. I think I will. I got decent genes and I'm stubborn like my dad. I'm stubborn like my mom. I don't want to wait till then to be able to like start living. That's what I don't want. I want to live my entire life. I don't want to just exist. So when you say, hope your day goes by fast, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't encourage time to go faster than I want it to, doing something that doesn't fulfill me, doesn't give me longevity in my heart to move forward and then do it again the next day. My mom once said to me, "You got to make the donuts, son." It's a Dunkin' Donuts commercial, if you've ever seen it, where a guy is joyfully saying, "I gotta go make the donuts. I gotta make the donuts," because Dunkin' donuts are made fresh every single day. But like as time progresses, it gets harder and harder and harder and harder and harder to go make the donuts. I don't want that. To me, that's the most depressing thing I've ever heard in my life. You're just giving yourself to a company to just make the donuts over and over again. For whose benefit? You are sure, yeah, it's great to deliver sugary treats to people, but at the same time, though, what's it doing for you? What's in it for you besides a paycheck? I'd rather try to create art and be a part of something greater than myself that will stand the test of time, that hopefully generations from now will appreciate, and if anything, just be thought provoking. That's what I would like the most. Kevin Conroy explained to me that Batman is the most empathetic character in the DC world because he has no powers. He has no advantages. All he has is his mind and his body. That's it. And he pushes himself so that he can help and heal the world from pain, because he wishes to no one to ever feel the type of pain that he goes through. And as you've known before, that's the definition of a great man. Good men can't imagine the evil that wicked men can do. Great men can, because they've experienced it and they know and acknowledge the consequences. It's not an exact quote, but that's what it really means. I know this episode's going a bit longer. I just feel like there's more to say on this topic of persistence and perseverance, because that's been my entire life. From day one, as mentioned in the origin story, my dad was my first bully. And my sister, well, she doesn't really understand me. So the only one that did, more or less, is my mom. And we never really did much as a family group collective. We were all pretty much on their own paths. Even though I desperately wanted something, we all got together for. We would watch movies together, and we would watch TV shows together. That's about it. It wasn't really anything else. I did sports. I did shows. But that was about it. I digress. I'm not going to quit. I'm not going to give up my dream, because I have nothing else. Mom said to me, "You just kind of painted yourself into a corner. You've dug yourself in to this one thing that you want to do with your life." I'm like, yeah, I did. I am. And I've often wondered, if I had children, if I had a family, if I would continue to go as gung-ho, or I would change my tactics, open my view to something else? Probably. If I had responsibilities, if I had a little one that needed me to be more than just chasing my dream, because they would become my dream. They would become my reason for getting out of bed. On the flip side of that, though, there I go, playing devil's advocate again. If I don't try as hard as I fucking can to achieve what I want, what kind of example would I be setting for them? How could I look at them in the eye and say, hey, you know what? You got a dream, kid? You gotta go after it. Get after it, get after it, get after it. When I myself failed to keep trying. You know. I constantly have this internal monologue with myself in dialogue. Like, should I be doing this? Can I still do this? Am I still good? When there are other things that could use my attention, effectively helping the community become more whole, being more mindful of our political climate, our economic climate, our world climate is all kinds of jacked up on the failure of adults that are supposed to look out for the best interests of all, when they are coerced, sometimes physically forced, to do the wrong thing so that the corporate people can get more money out of the world. As I mentioned earlier in my prior episode, the faults of humanity fall on the actions of the few, and fall on all of us for not addressing, fighting as one, to say, no, enough's enough. I don't want to see our world crumble. I don't want to see our world burn. I don't want to give my future generations that I'm not a part of at this moment more problems to deal with that I was not prepared to deal with. So it's the constant struggle. Do I keep pursuing this very sometimes selfish pursuit of acting and writing and such? Or do I turn my gears into something that could actually help heal the world for the better? I don't know. Celebrities do contain some power over the world with their ability to influence it, hopefully for the better. Sometimes not so much. But it all starts with who you are as a person. What do you stand for? What are you about? And proudly stepping into the fire, accepting the consequences of your decisions and your actions. Food for thought, kids. Who are you? What do you want? And how are you going to get it? Well, that's our show. This is Pulling Back the Curtain with Vinny Ali, episode 16. We're still going strong, and we'll keep you updated on any further opportunities that are coming up. Remember, October 31st will be the premiere of something very big, hopefully, that will be life-changing for my career and the career of a bunch of other people. I have a very strong feeling about it, though. And the Legends will be premiering a newest episode soon. Courtney Adkisson and Risen Fire Productions, so that's very exciting. Christopher Shirk will have his book come out soon. We'll promote that as well. And if you are friends with anyone that's in the next phase of horror, please still vote for them. Please still promote awareness for this wonderful nonprofit organization, Starlight Foundation. I would like to do more nonprofit work, but there's no money in it, which sucks. But it fulfills you as a person by doing it. Again, this is Pulling Back the Curtain with Vinny Ali. Thank you for your time, and we'll see you next time.